I shouldn't have to explain why taking the turn to activate Reclaimer instead of do anything else should be good. I mean, anybody who's played Reclaimer is just laughing at me for even considering not activating Reclaimer here, right? Alright, guys, we are here for the third match with Reclaimer, and if you are not caught up by now, then you desperately need to see match 1, because I will not be talking in detail about the deck list. Go check out match 1, where you'll find the full deck tech. I'm very much looking forward to playing some games with this list, so I will see you guys in the games. Alright, the match has been found. Can we be on the play? I didn't say it in time last time, but since I said it before the game loaded up, that means that we are going to be able to be on the play. See, look, I told you. You just gotta believe it. This hand, we would very much like an untapped source for turn 2, but, I mean, I can't ship a turn 1 Reclaimer hand, so definitely keeping this. Playing against Milk Dud. Interesting name. No mana sources for Eldonri's Call either. Hopefully these Lotus Cobras will do some work. Maybe we're playing against Dredge and they're just literally not going to interact with our Cobras at all, in which case they'll be insane. If our opponent's on like Jund or something though, then Cobra's not quite as good there, especially against like Renin 6. Yeah, trying to dodge that one for sure. If we do play a turn 2 Cobra here by some stroke of luck, and then also top deck a fetch land, then we can play Tracker with a fetch land available to crack and get immediate value. Our opponent's on Steam Vents Pass. Interesting. Well, we get to twiddle our thumbs here and I guess attack for 1 with Reclaimer. Value. Oh, they're gonna bolt it anyways. That's fine. That's fine. Didn't need the 1 point of damage, and that makes me feel like we're not really missing much on the whole potential activation of Reclaimer there or anything, so. Sadly, we don't have anything we can do with exactly 1 mana. I mean, I'm still throwing out a Cobra here, but, yeah. Naturally drawing Valakuts, I mean, that part of the deck is functioning. Pass it back. I don't know, maybe it could have been right even to hold on to the Valakut in case we don't top deck a land this turn, so we could play second Cobra, play land, and get immediately 2 mana from it. I don't know about all that, though. Reclaimer, eh? Reclaimer, eh? Do we just slam a Tracker? Do we attack with Cobra and see if they snap Bolt? I don't even know. I guess the attack with the Cobra is pretty free. Yep. No blocks, straight to damage. That's cool, that's cool. I think I'm inclined... I mean, they didn't kill our Cobra yet. I'm going to play another Reclaimer here and hope they don't have the answer for it. The Lotus Cobra will pay itself back if we can play it before playing a land this upcoming turn. It'll basically have been 1 mana instead of 2 at that point, so there's really no detriment to holding the Cobra, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Let's see. So, Cobra into Flagstones, float 2 mana, use both, and float a white with Flagstones, sacrifice it, get 2 lands, 4 mana, 6, Tracker. Let's see. We can play Tracker as well after we play the Flagstones, but before we activate Reclaimer, if I'm not mistaken. Tap 2, Cobra, land, double trigger, tap. Yeah, we can play Tracker before we sacrifice Flagstones. Interesting. Alright, we'll try the Cobra. They fetch. Cryptic Command, perhaps? It'll be pretty awkward that we haven't played our land drop yet, and they could tap our team. That's a lot of colors for our opponent's Lightning Bolt deck over there. Hallowed Fountain also? Is this a Bring to Light control deck, or is this just 4-color Omnath? There's a Cryptic Command. Counter Draw. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. So we're obviously playing out the Flagstones here. We'll float a green. That part's easy. If we sack Flagstones, we can then afterwards play Tracker with a 2 mana that's floated. I guess we just search for whatever off of the Flagstones, like a Temple Garden, and then a fetch land, so we can fetch to activate double Tracker. Maybe not, though. Maybe we just get a second Flagstones. That doesn't seem that crazy. Hold on. Yeah, I think just a second Flagstones is fine. Yep. We get a tapped Temple G here. Flow to green. Lotus Cobra is doing some work here. We'll admit that. We get to resolve a tracker, which I think is probably worth it. And swing for 2. Remember, these little 2/1 guys make mana, but they also clock our opponent. It's like having 2 must-answer threats, playing both Cobra and Reclaimer. It kind of overloads our opponent's Lightning Bolt effects. Maybe I'm overplaying that, though. Fairy Time Raveler bounce tracker. Interesting. We can still activate Reclaimer. Don't know if our opponent would have something like Mana Leak. They haven't cast one just yet. We could play Dryad, sacrifice Flagstones to get 2 lands and shoot our opponent. And one of the lands that we search for with the Reclaimer can actually be the bounce land, but that doesn't play around the leak. Unless we sacrifice Flagstones first and get bounce land, and then play Dryad bounce land twice, and that's 12. Float 3 mana, yeah. Wait. Pay 2 sack, 1 2 lands. No, we'd be 1 short there, 2. So if our Dryad doesn't resolve, then we can call for Titan. Strange. Alright, well, I am gonna go for the Dryad here, I think. Yeah, this seems fine. Not holding up Eldrami's Call here because we're probably just activating Reclaimer anyways. I was gonna say, please bolt this Reclaimer. Remand. Interesting. Okay, I don't think that we need to activate Reclaimer in response here. Alright, let's get this Teferi out of play. And then just pass it back, I suppose. Holding up our Reclaimer activation during their turn. And actually, when we sack our Flagstones, whatever 2 lands we can get, we can then still cast Eldrami's Call thanks to the Lotus Cobra. So we can do everything at our opponent's instep here. Love to see that for sure. Alright, yes. We'll get Temple Garden yet again. Leaving Scattered Groves, because I wouldn't mind cycling that one if we had the chance. Right, now we get to search here. And I suppose just a Cavern of Souls is fine. I think Cavern is fine. And we'll name... I feel like Tracker's better than Dryad here. Dryad's likely to just die, but Tracker might get value immediately. I'm going to name Human. It might be a little controversial, but I'm just trying to play it as safe as possible. And here we can call. Interact, if you will, opponent. Look at Lotus Cobra already paying itself forward multiple times over. Force negation, hard cast. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. Alright. We can jam Dryad into a second remand. Yeah. Okay. We got 2 Valakut triggers incoming. Up to you. Our opponent has seen the writing. Let's go to sideboard. We didn't even have to resolve a tracker. Kind of a shame, actually. We want Veils for counter magic, Thrun for counter magic, and also the fact that it just never dies. Don't know if we want Purge. I mean, it does hit Rin, but I don't expect our opponent to be playing like Blood Moon or anything, and I'm not sure how relevant Rin really is. Maybe Purge isn't necessary. Eidolon seems actively bad for us. Unless we're activating Reclaimer, but of course they can just kill our Reclaimer. I don't hate Baloth, but I don't love it. I don't hate Ramanop, but I also don't love that one either. Our opponent is playing Bolts, but they don't have enough Bolts to answer our Cobras and our Reclaimers. That said, I kind of feel like our Cobras are kind of weak without already having a Reclaimer in play. That might be wrong, though, since we can, like, power out an early Titan or an early Thrun or something, or Tracker plus holding up a fetch to get value off of Cobra, so maybe it's, like, not the biggest deal. I don't know. Spring Bloom seems unnecessary. Again, I'm not expecting Blood Moon. That would be the main consideration. Speaking of not expecting Blood Moon, I think we can get rid of the Knight. Prismatic Omen seems insane. I think all of our tech lands seem pretty good here. Maybe we don't need Ghost Quarter. I could see that. Our opponent's likely playing Ren to get things back, and I don't really care for Ghost Quartering myself, if I'm being completely honest. Just call it a day. I'm fine with this. It's nice to have a few early plays against our opponent. If we see just tons and tons of removal for things like the Reclaimer and the Cobra, then I guess we just board it out, but it seemed to be working pretty well there. I mean, this hand is a little slow, but to me it's kind of a snap keep. Prismatic Omen on 2 is a nice play. It's very subtly progressing our game plan here. Turn 1 Reclaimer. Absolutely will take that one. I wish I could draw turn 1 Reclaimer every hand. Even if I already have a Reclaimer on turn 1 ready to go, I just want a second Reclaimer. Okay, so our opponent has not answered our Reclaimer, which makes me very interested in just activating Reclaimer, I think. We could also just take the shields down and play Prismatic Omen. Our opponent's probably holding up something like Remand anyways, so I don't know that I want to let our opponent get value. They can't cast something like Growth Spiral thanks to the Valakut they played, so I think it's completely free for the most part to go ahead and activate Reclaimer here, so that's what I'm going to do. I shouldn't have to explain why taking the turn to activate Reclaimer instead of do anything else should be good. I mean, anybody who's played Reclaimer is just laughing at me for even considering not activating a Reclaimer here, right? Raugrin Triome. I guess we could have brought in something like Path for Omnath. I don't know if that's something that interests me at all, though. Right, our opponent is passing it right back to us. Gotta pay this mana. Sack the Forest. Again, not really scared of Blood Moon here, especially with our opponent's land base. Valakut is very interesting. They're either playing Scapeshift or Dryad or both. Fetch land is interesting also. I'm pretty okay with just playing the Ardenvale and then just activating Reclaimer again. Again, not in any kind of rush here. If our opponent's going to let us activate Reclaimer, then I'm going to do it, because our opponent hasn't had the Lightning Bolt yet. I mean, we've already gotten 8 Flagstones out of it, and our next activation, which they can't stop us from getting, is going to put us up a land. Okay, well, we actually get to cast Titan this upcoming turn. Here goes the Flagstones. Get anything off the Flagstones, and then Castle Garenbrig to just slam Titan. Yeah, you got your Supreme Verdict. I hope it was worth it. Don't want to expose any of our utility lands or even have to play out our fetch land here, so I'm just going to play out the plains. Activate. Primeval Titan into play. Reclaimer is already doing so much work. What do we even get with our Titan? It's not like Amulet where every single land matters. Against any individual opponent, only a couple lands matter at a time, and we already have the Ardenvale in play. Although I don't know how much that one matters if our opponent's going to be threatening to kill us with Valakut, so we definitely want at least one Valakut here to set up for our Omen or possible future Dryads. The other one is pretty debatable. We have tons of lands in hand to play for our tracker, including a fetch land, so I'm not really interested in getting the Sanctuary just yet. I don't think there's anything wrong with just getting double Valakut, to be honest. Bog doesn't do much against our opponent's 2 cards. I'm just going to get the 2 Valakuts and whatever. Now they have to deal with our Titan and our Prismatic Omen and our Tireless Tracker, and we can cavern through our Tireless Tracker to make sure it resolves. I don't know. For that reason, maybe it would have been right to play the Cavern instead of the Plains and go ahead and name Human, so next turn we could just slam Tracker, knowing it's uncounterable, play Windswept Heath immediately. Now we're a turn off of that, which might be fine, but our opponent could be on the Cryptic Bounce or Cryptic Tap mode here. And if they do that, we can just call for a Dryad and then play Dryad and, you know, some lands and stuff. And, I mean, that would be pretty good. Our opponent is holding up 2 mana. We want to call in response to this if we're going to call at all, so we don't shuffle our Titan away. Yeah, I think we should just go ahead and call. In fact, we can Cavern naming Dryad and then resolve the Dryad and immediately get 12 damage out of it with our Windswept Heath. That seems pretty good. Yeah, I think Dryad is just the most reasonable pick here, and obviously we're topping the Titan. They could have a second Gust. If they Gust our Dryad, I'll just put it on the bottom and play Omen. That said, I don't know if I want to waste the Cavern to put through a Dryad if they're just going to Gust it. I suppose we can play one of our lands, like the Blast Zone here, and just play around Mana Leak. And if they remand, we can just jam Dryad again. That seems pretty good. I'll play the Blast Zone. Again, we don't know if we want to Cavern. We don't know if we want to Cavern through a Tracker or a Titan. Doesn't matter. We can actually just slam Tracker here also. Nah, let's just play the fetch out. Upstairs. Always yes. Always yes, always yield. Not fetching because of our Titan that is residing currently on the top of our deck. I will go ahead and toss out this Omen, though. No responses. Cool. Pass it back. Cavern through Primeval Titan, and it'll be all over, even if they answer our Dryad, so things are looking good for us. Growth Spiral. You got it. Growth Spiral away, my friend. Would have been much better on our instep than on their first main phase here. Down to 9. That sounds like a very Valakuttable number. Just saying. I mean, it might be kind of crazy, but that sounds like a Valakut relevant number. Let's name Giant here. And upstairs. Upstairs. And we win the match. We can always just fetch to do the damage. But wow. Well, if we got soundly destroyed by Amulet Titan last match, we soundly destroyed our control opponent just now. Still don't know if they were playing Omnath or Bring to Light or Scapeshift. Any of those. They had Valakut, so clearly something was happening. Didn't matter. We didn't need to see it. Let's just kill our opponent with Valakuts. And I guess you could say that it was the correct choice to get the double Valakut there with our Titan. Like I said, in the very first video that I made with this particular list, I said that this deck is very much a Valakut combo deck, and when in doubt, 2 Valakuts. Can't go wrong with that. Anyways, I don't have anything else to say. Hopefully you enjoyed that match and learned something from it. I definitely enjoyed it, and that's all I have to say. I will see you guys in the next match. This is Redface Menace, signing off.